And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Slaughterzinski, Anthony Knockreiner, and Brian Allen with you live tonight from Richard Dick Blake Stadium, where tonight we've got another top 15 state matchup with the Cocoa Tigers, as the Cocoa Tigers host the Treasure Coast Titans. Tonight's game is brought to you by, in part, Lickety Split Signs and Banners, the Cocoa Tigers Booster Club, Timeout Plus Sports Bar, and as always, Mr. Jim Williams in Camp Casey, South Korea. Please welcome my broadcast partner here tonight, Anthony Knockreiner, as the Cocoa Tigers take the field. Knock, what are you looking for in this one tonight?
I'm looking to see if the Cocoa Tigers get back to that air raid that we saw those 2 weeks against Venice, as well as against St. Thomas Aquinas. I know they wanted to run the football. I think they did a really good job establishing that. Giving Treasure Coast those looks is going to make them really have to honor the run game for the Cocoa Tigers. And so tonight's going to be really interesting, and plus the counterbalance. You got the wing tee from Treasure Coast, the air raid from Cocoa. I love it. We're going to get the best of both worlds, the ball in the air and the ball on the ground.
All right, as the captains are at midfield here, and an overcast Friday night, one of 4 games on the network here tonight, and Knock will give you the starters here. The Tigers, Knock, they come in at 3-1, and they played this team 2 years ago, and it was quite an exciting ending. The Tigers trailed by 21 points in the game in the first quarter, and then they would come all the way back in the fourth quarter to tie it. They would force double overtime. Treasure Coast would score first. They would kick the extra point. It would be 56-48. What happened from there was nothing other than a Davin Widener to Jamari A. Robinson minor miracle. The Cocoa Tigers would score on 1st and 10 from their own 10 on an O.J. Ross run. And then with the ball at the extra point line, the Tigers would go for 2 and the win. There would be a false start penalty. That would back the Tigers up to the 8. But Ryan Schneider didn't shy away. He kept the offense on the field. Widener hit Robinson in the back of the end zone. The point after was good, and the Cocoa Tigers would go on to win the football game 56-55. Knock, I can only hope for something that exciting tonight.
Yeah, I was about to say, if we get a game like that tonight, that is going to be a treat for me. You got that game a couple of years ago. I can only imagine what it was like calling that game.
It wasn't me. That was Billy Palmer and Coach
Billy.
Blue, yeah.
That's right. Okay, it was, yeah. So, I mean, again, it would be great to have that type of game here. I'm sure Coach Schneider would rather have a little bit more dominant win for the Cocoa Tigers. And the biggest thing, too, Alan, is both these teams play St. Thomas Aquinas within a couple of weeks of each other. And there's a big difference. Cocoa, obviously, we know what happened. Should have won that game. Treasure Coast lost 42-7. So it's going to be interesting. I like the Tigers here to have a little bit more of an advantage, just given the fact of the common opponent that these two teams have played.
All right, glad you could be with us here tonight. Let your comments flow. As always, we simply ask that you stay within the boundaries of good taste. As we get set to kick off here, I'll turn it over to our play-by-play guy. You just heard him. It's Anthony Knockreiner.
And Gunnar Trout on his approach. Boot to leather, and here we go. This ball is going to be returnable. Picked up at the 4, and Treasure Coast trying to bring it to the 10, trying to get to the 15, to the 20, and be brought down by a host of Cocoa Tigers as we see the Treasure Coast Titans on offense. First at wing T, led by quarterback Amar Atwell, as well as Jamison Davis and Damari Scott, your leading backs.
Yeah, there's my first screw-up of the night. I had the guy at the 20 catching the football. Anyway, Knock, the wing T, that's what the Treasure Coast Titans run. And if you're not familiar with the wing T, there are a lot of pros and there are a lot of cons to it. But I tell you what, when you look at what Coach Ivory does with this offense, he does it pretty good. And here they don't line up in it. It's just a simple RPO.
This is a shotgun for Atwell, 1st and 10. Quick wide receiver screen out to George Robertson. That one is going to be incomplete. And that was something that I was kind of looking at out in my prep. This Titan team can throw the football a little bit more. Atwell had 3 touchdowns against Martin County 2 weeks ago. So Treasure Coast, I mean, again, they have that balance. So this Cocoa Tiger defense is going to have to hone really in on their keys to make sure they stay home because, again, Treasure Coast doesn't mind going over the top on occasion.
No, and still, we have no wing tee, and this is a different look than maybe what Coco's prepared for tonight.
We get some motion here, second down and 10. Treasure Coast hands off to Jaden
Oh,
Holmes.
my.
And Holmes is dropped at the 25.
And that's just outstanding play by Samadre Hawkins, the senior. He comes in, flies in, I might add, and absolutely takes out the ball carrier. Not great play, 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, ball sitting on the 26 now. Needs to get to the 33-yard line for a first down for the Titans. Atwell in the shotgun, Scott to his left. Two receivers tight to the formation. Fullback is Nicholas Hatton on the right side.
Long count
here. Yeah, I was about to say. Handoff to Atwell, chest high snap for Atwell, rolling to his right, chased by Hawkins Ingram, and that'll be incomplete, and the Cocoa Tiger defense forces a 3-and-out.
Cocoa Tigers have one of the best pass rushes in the entire state of Florida. They come in with 27 sacks. You look at the top 3, Lauren Ward leads the crew with 6. And then you got 5-5, 4-4 all the way down the line. The Tigers force a 3-and-out. And I will say this, Treasure Coast may not be game mind yet. They got here about 20 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, as I say, it seemed maybe they had some trouble with travel getting here, and we will see our first punt, Manuel German de Leon, to punt this one away. Good high punt. Coco's return man will call it off, Nathan Chasen, and it'll be the Treasure Coast Titans downing it at the Tiger 40, and the Tigers will get good field position.
I want to thank Lickety Split Signs and Banners for their contribution to tonight's broadcast. Lickety Split Signs and Banners located in Merritt Island. The information is on the bottom of the screen, but in case you're just listening, permanent or temporary, Lickety Split, the sign for your event, sale, front door, you design it. They'll deliver it. Lickety Split, www.licketysplitsigns.com. 1st and 10, here's Knock.
We'll see 4 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Quick throw out to, I believe that is Bragg. Trying to read the number. That is Boggs. Boggs makes the catch. Short gain for about 4.
It's going to be interesting to see tonight how the Tigers, what they do without Nicky Teeter in the offense here tonight. Teeter, of course, hurt his shoulder last week. And, of course, you've got Boggs. You've got Bragg. I mean, you've got a plethora of talented pass catchers in this offense.
Xavier Chappell, the receiver, kind of in that Teeter role as we see Lane come into motion. 2nd down and 6. Malachi Coney has the handoff, and he'll get to about the 49. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Malachi Coney with an outstanding run there with a little cutback. Leaves the Tigers in 3rd and short. Last week, Knock, it was Ladison Lane with 70 yards and a touchdown last week as the Tigers' ground game got going a little bit. But, of course, if you know me, it's not enough.
Yeah, well, I was going to say you got to give some credit to the O'Galley Commodores defense as they didn't really give too much, and there were also some penalties that negated some big runs. 3rd and 1. Brady Hart looks quickly out to DJ Bryant on the wide receiver screen, and Bryant will be knocked out of bounds, but he'll pick up a Cocoa Tiger first down at the Treasure Coast 45.
That's just pure confidence in your sophomore quarterback right there. I know it's an easy out over to the end, but it's 3rd and 1. Brady Hart could have fell forward for a first down on that one, but they throw the wide receiver screen on 3rd and 1. Knock. I love the confidence they have in this sophomore.
Boggs and Bragg at the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10 from the Treasure Coast 45. Brady Hart drops the ball, picks it up. Now looking, this one's going to be well short of Javen Boggs.
Where'd he go with it? I lost the ball.
I don't think he quite got got his hand enough.
Oh, he
on
dropped
that
it. Okay, that's where I got confused.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Cocoa Tigers. And DJ Bryant is a name to keep an eye on. Again, obviously Teeter being out, I look for DJ Bryant to kind of step into that role, especially on 3rd downs. We haven't called his name a ton. I know he's talented. I know he's got some opportunities here, and I got that first down earlier. Curious to see how many more opportunities Brady Hart tries to get him the ball. 2nd down and 10. Hart quickly throws. This one for Bragg as he goes up and gets it. And that'll be enough for a first down as the safety, Shamir Sterling, makes the tackle.
He is headed to, Shamir Sterling is headed to Northern Illinois, I believe it is. But he's a D1 4-star commit. Knock, he shouldn't feel like he's the only D1 4-star these Tigers have picked on all year. Just ask the young man the two Michigan or Penn State commits for St. Thomas, and, of course, Charles Lester for Venice. Coco absolutely devoured all three of them.
Absolutely. First down and 10. Trips to the top of your screen. Hart alone in the backfield. Chest high snap. Hart steps into the pocket, and he's going to be taken down, and I believe that is a familiar name. Jahari Grant, the big defensive tackle for the Titans, brings him down.
Good play by Grant there. That's a coverage sack. And you know what? That's a good play all the way around. A better play by Treasure Coast, obviously because of the sack. But Hart, instead of stepping out or stepping back, he steps up. He doesn't try to force anything, and he takes the sack, and he lives to play another down.
Second down and 12. Ball sitting midfield of the 30. Middle of the 30-yard line. Needs to get to about the 18 for a first down for the Tigers. Boggs and Bragg to the bottom of your screen. Chest high snap. Quick throw. Lasers into C.J. Bragg. Bragg tries to spin move, but is brought down quickly by Sterling once again for another Tiger first down.
And that's exactly what happens when you take care of the football and you play second down. Inside of the lickety-split red zone now are the Cocoa Tigers. You know, people may not like it, but, you know, I mean, sometimes you got to throw the ball away or take a sack.
First down and 10. Ball sitting on the 14-yard line of the Titans. Brady Hart in the backfield. Sidecar to his left is Lane. Lane gets the handoff, turns the legs up the middle of the field. He'll be brought down at about the 11. Nice gain on first down.
As the Tigers keeping the Titans honest here a little bit with a run here. Second down.
I'll tell you what, Alan, and you and I have talked about this in a couple of broadcasts, but Brady Hart's intermediate throws are really on the money.
He's 71% completion percentage. They, you know, in high school, they don't come as accurate as Brady Hart.
Hart,
look at this, wide open.
DJ Bryant. Bryant crossed the 10 down to about the 6, and that'll be close to first down yardage. It'll be third down in about a yard and a half.
Looked easy, right? I mean, your guy's standing wide open, but a lot of times at this level, you get big eyes. You overthrow him, you underthrow him. Brady Hart puts it right on the money, and the Tigers are third and short.
So we'll see Chappell and DJ Bryant check out. Coney Lane are the backs. And we've got some action
I
on
think
the
that's
line.
against Treasure Coast for offsides. Nobody moved.
And it is. That is on big number 99, Jahari Grant.
Yeah, when you get that big body going, it's tough to stop knocking. He pushes the center backwards. And we're going to already take the water break here on Brevard Sports Network. Once again, lickety-split lickety-split signs, banners, and websites, permanent or temporary. Lickety-split has the sign for your event, sale, or front door. You design it, they'll deliver it. Broadcast any upcoming event with custom banners and signs. They have for materials, colors, and many materials, colors, and sizes to choose from. I promise I can read. Choose a lightweight material for indoors or a weather-resistant outdoor material to announce your event, party, or cause. If you can imagine it, Lickety-Split can design it, and they can design it in Lickety-Split. And it's third down, or first and goal now for the Cocoa Tigers inside the lickety-split red zone here. And here to tell you how the Tigers are going to score their first 6 points of the night is Anthony Knockreiner.
So far on this drive, which started back at the 10:39 mark, almost 4 minutes already off this clock on this drive alone. Tigers first down and 10 from the 3. Two backs in the backfield with Hart. It'll be Lane in the motion. Chest high snap. Quick throw inside, and that is caught by Javen Boggs for a Tiger touchdown.
Listen, I didn't like the pass because he threw it into double coverage, but he threw a dart, and that's a Brady Hart touchdown. And the Cocoa Tigers march right down the football field here, and with 6:08 to play, lead it 6-0 pending the extra point.
Alan, that was a 10-play drive.
Beautiful drive. Jacob Sams, 6-party.
Gunnar Trout on to attempt the extra point, going about 90% this season, and he adds, as that'll make it 7-0. The Tigers leading the Treasure Coast Titans.
Cocoa Tiger touchdown. How about it, Knock? Somebody asked me, normally we didn't do the Uberzadi high school football pregame show preview show last night because we had volleyball late. But the bottom line is somebody asked me down on the sidelines what I thought about this one, and I genuinely felt like the Cocoa Tigers will win this game by at least 2 touchdowns tonight.
I mean, listen, I think what's going to be key is what can Treasure Coast do to answer that touchdown drive. This is a tough defense against the Cocoa Tigers. It's very difficult to run. I mean, obviously, as you talked about, the defensive line for the Tigers can pass rush. These guys are still pretty stout in the run game, and they got 2 linebackers that are outstanding in terms of reading their keys and stopping the run.
There you go, defending that run game again.
No, the defensive
oh,
run game.
defensively. Okay.
The Tigers' ability to stop the run.
Me and you in that run game, brother. C.J. Bragg, by the way, he is top 15 in the state in passing. That's his 14th touchdown of the year, Knock. 14 of them. 4th for Bragg.
Gunnar Trout puts this one in the air, and this one will go back into the end zone for a touchback. That'll be Gunnar Trout's 6th touchback of the season.
6 TVs for Trout. Trout with that kicking lineage, of course, his uncle, the famous Coach Trout, former Syracuse kicker, Nathan Trout, for a time was the girls' head varsity soccer coach at Merritt Island and stepped away from those duties this offseason. And he's now the kicking coach over at Holy Trinity, I believe, for his son, Marcus Trout.
First down and 10 for the Titans. It'll be Atwell keeping it this time as he goes right up the gut. He'll be stopped by Javen Hilson, the defensive end for the Tigers.
Yeah, the eye test tells me right up front, Knock, that the Cocoa Tigers front seven's bigger, it's quicker, and it certainly to this point seems to be a bit stronger as well.
Well, see, the thing is, though, is that Cocoa's got to continue to make sure they read their keys. Don't let one guy get out, because if they do, it's going to be difficult to stop. That's the great thing about this wing T offense is how much of one little mistake can make you
Yeah, but have you seen a T yet?
No, not – well, I mean, this kind of looks like it.
A little bit, not much. Usually there's 2 backs in the backfield. Oh, there's the H-back. I didn't see the H-back. So,
DeMar Scott gets the handoff, and he'll be stopped by a host of Tigers and leading the way. I think that was Samandre Hawkins.
It was Hawkins. Easy peasy lemon squeezy on that one right there, Knock. And I want to say hello to Chris Bonanno watching. And look, with the way the weather has been and the end of the tropical season coming up, no better place to catch your weather than at Space Coast Weather. Chris does an absolutely terrific job with Space Coast Weather. You can follow him on Facebook. So why don't all of you go on over and do that and then come on right back here and watch the Cocoa Tigers force a 4th down.
3rd down and about 7. The Treasure Coast Titans need to get to the 30 to pick up a first down. 3 receivers. Atwell, play action. Quickly throws, and that is incomplete. That was intended for...
Well,
they don't have a 15 on their roster.
No, they don't. But, look, and that's what stumped the PA guys. Well, here's the thing. The difference between this Treasure Coast team and the Treasure Coast team from 2 years ago was that Treasure Coast team could throw the football if they needed to out of that wing tee. Amar is a good quarterback. He's a thrower, not a passer. There's a difference.
So once again, we will see Manuel German de Leon punt this one away. Chasing back deep to return for the Tigers. 4:33 to play here in the first. Snap mishandled, but able to get it off as it'll be a pickup for Chasen at the 40, and he's still on his feet to the 45. Chasen living a little risky.
The lights there, yep. There we go. As we step aside, I want to take a minute here to tell you about American Air and Plumbing, most trusted air and plumbing service in Brevard County. And they are also the sponsor of the Florida. We get to make that pick next week. So we're going to announce our Florida Football Tough Player of the Month of September. And there's only going to be one. There's not going to be one on defense. There's not going to be one on offense. So like these rankings this past week, I see a lot of fighting coming in the studios of BSN.
First down and 10. Bragg, the man in motion, makes the catch in the flats. Trying to make one man miss. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second down and 10 as he is dropped by Nico Lopez.
I got to tell you, man, we caught a lot of flack this week for our rankings. I picked up some emails and some messages this week wanting to know why we got Titusville 5 and Merritt Island 6. And we're going to get into that throughout the course of the game tonight to further explain ourselves a little bit more. And honestly, what difference does it make what we say? It's going to play out on the field.
Well, the question is going to be is those FHSAA rankings as well.
Yeah, those are a joke. Titusville, now look, I loved where Titusville was ranked, but
yeah. Second down and 10. Hart all alone. Chest high snap. Plenty of time to look, and he rifles one in. It's incomplete. Just a little too far out in front of C.J. Bragg.
That was the first bad pass of the night by Hart. He had Bragg wide open coming across the middle and just missed him there.
The Cocoa offensive line's doing a great job so far. Again, they've got Omari Kinsler, Richard Kramer, Jahari Grant, and Zachary Josu. All guys above about 220 pounds. Got a couple of good pass rushers, and got a big man up front. It's Cocoa Tiger offensive line nullifying that pass rush. Third down and 10. Tigers need to get to the Titan 45. Chest high snap. Across the middle of the field, and that one is incomplete.
That's a great play.
Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling came up and made a fantastic defensive play. That one was in the hands of Boggs, and Sterling knocked it away, showing why Northern Illinois has the interest in him that they do. And the Titans force a much-needed punt from the Cocoa Tigers.
And Brady Hart had some, again, this is back-to-back plays. Hart had a lot of time. So, again, this offensive line for the Tigers doing some nice things. And, again, I like where they're throwing the football, but right now Sterling making his presence felt.
Yeah, 3:27 to play here in the opening quarter. 7-0 Tigers on top. The American Air and Plumbing scoreboard here. Alan Slaughterzinski, Anthony Knockreiner, and Brian Allen with you. We're going to get Brian's thoughts on half or first quarter here coming up. Whistles, and it's got to be a false start. Other games on tap tonight. Around good old Brevard County. We had Palm Bay's at Astronaut, Satellites at Bayside, Windermere Prep at Cocoa Beach, O'Galley at Merritt Island. There's one tonight that'll pique the rankings interest. Heritage at Vieira, there's another one. That game essentially for the district championship.
Trout punts this one away. Good punt. This one's going to take a Tiger bounce, and it's picked up by Avon for Treasure Coast, and he's brought down. But that was dangerous.
I said boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's what that was right there. He got popped as soon as he picked that one up. Not a smart play to pick that football up there. But
Gabriel Avon gets it to the 24.
Other games around the county tonight include Harmony at Melbourne, MCC at Father Lopez, Rock at Trinity Christian. That's a 7:30 kick. Titusville at Space Coast, and Holy Trinity actually Halifax Academy is at Holy Trinity tonight. I want to say hello to Lorenzo Pratt, former Cocoa Tiger running back, great. And never forget Lorenzo's 70-yard scamper for a touchdown.
George Roberts takes the carry, pick up a couple of yards, but once again, that Cocoa Tiger defensive line making things difficult and not allowing any lanes.
Yeah, I think it was Judson, Hawkins, and Pratt. 376 rushing yards against Bowles for a state championship in 2016. By the way, that quarterback for Bowles, Mac Jones.
Damn.
Coco made him look pedestrian, much like the rest of the NFL does.
Second down and 9 for the Treasure Coast Titans. Atwell in the shotgun. Scott to his left. Nicholas Hatton, the fullback. Tight end looks like Roberts. With a high snap, Atwell, three-step drop, pressure coming. Atwell escapes, now runs for it, and will be brought down by
Timmy, my
Hawkins. Bad. And Atwell will gain a couple of yards. It'll make it third down and about 5 for the Titans.
Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. The Pratts, they just have so many great running backs. I mix them up, and I apologize, Lorenzo and Timmy. I apologize. That's a good scramble there, though, by Amar. And that's what he's going to have to do tonight, Knock. He's going to have to continuously make plays with his feet to beat that Cocoa pass rush. 28 sacks this season.
Third down and 5. Ball needs to get to the Titan
34.
34-yard line. Chest high snap. That is going to be Scott who takes a direct snap. Goes up the middle, and it'll be stopped by Parham and a host of Tigers. And that'll bring up 4th down and about 3 for Treasure Coast.
You know, way back when I played high school football, we ran the Delaware wing T, and that offense in a lot of ways is predicated on ball fake and crispness with your ball fake. Cocoa didn't buy anything there whatsoever. Wasn't a good ball fake. The Tigers didn't bite, and as a consequence, they were able to prevent a first down from being had on the ground. Treasure Coast knock, looks like they're going to punt, but if you're unable to sell that front 4 on a ball fake out of the wing T, you can have a long night.
Well, right now, 3 drives, 3 3-and-outs for the Titans. Again, their defense doing a nice job with the last drive. They're going to have to rely on once again as we see De Leon punt this one away. Good punt. High punt. Jason's not going to have a chance to return it. Takes a Titan bounce, and it's going to roll out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
Mr. Strickland says it's going to be a long day for Treasure Coast, and it's right. Look, you know, Coach Ivory has had this wing T running here at Treasure Coast now. He's been there 13 years. I believe he instilled this offense in his 4th year is what I read this week doing my research. They actually went 0-10 with it in their first year, knock. 0-10 running. And listen, the cons to this offense are nobody wants to play in it.
No.
Nobody wants to play in this offense. So you got to sell them on it, and it's got to be successful.
You need speed, too.
Really, yeah, you got to have speed. And really over the last couple of years, Coach Ivory's been able to do that.
First down and 10. Shotgun snap. Quick wide receiver screen to DJ Bryant. Bryant will get to about the 30. Gain of about 2 yards.
I hated the offense in the late 80s. I can only imagine what today's student athlete feels about it.
I wonder how many teams in the late 80s, early 90s were running the wing T versus now.
Right. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. And I want to bring in another new broadcaster here on Brevard Sports Network, Bobby Allen, formerly of Varsity Sports Network, and Bobby is a true professional in every sense of the word here. And if you've watched Varsity Sports Network, then you know all about this guy. But for those of you that have never had the opportunity to watch VSN, who does a good job, Bobby, welcome to Brevard Sports Network. It's glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, man. Listen, Alan, first and foremost, I appreciate the opportunity. I've been doing this a long time, and, I got away from it for a little bit. My wife transitioned with work.
Right.
And so that allowed me the opportunity to be a dad for a minute.
Right.
So after 17 years of doing something you love, man, it's nice to be able to get back into it.
And so you did this at Varsity Sports
Yes,
Network?
For about a year and a half, and
Yep.
the rest of my career was spent with iHeartRadio, a smattering of local radio stations.
Right.
And then I've done a little bit of, FCS, NAIA.
Yep.
But mostly high school, true sport.
What have you seen here in this first quarter? Last time you were here, Cocoa, I can't remember. I think they played Jones. Jones High School got beat that night.
Yep.
What have you seen here from this Tiger offense? First and 10 for Brady Hart.
Yeah, I'll make it short and sweet. The athletes are wearing black and orange tonight. And the athletes are showing that they're more athletic on all 3 phases of the football so far.
Right.
And I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
Whether you can run the ball or pass the ball, it's fine, but speed kills.
You're over in the Orlando area. I got one more question for you. Sure. I know a lot of times some of these teams over here, they get forgotten.
Yes.
What is what is when you were broadcasting these games? What is that feeling about these Cocoa Tigers over there in that Orlando metro area?
I'll kind of describe it like this. I would say from somebody who came in from out of state,
right,
with a long career out of state. Orlando's in a bubble.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes if you're not in that bubble, regardless of how good you may or may not be, they're not considered good enough to be in that bubble.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
It does. Brian, I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, man.
And thank you. And you'll be on the call with me Tuesday night for volleyball, but we'll check in with you again coming up at the half.
Yeah,
Brian Allen, everybody. Welcome him to Brevard Sports Network.
Thanks again, my friend.
Yes, sir. Quick pitch and a run. And look at Malachi Coney churn out yards on 4th and short, knock. Is that Coney? Yep, Malachi Coney. and he's going to have to come off the football field because he lost his helmet. But I tell you what, that's about as tough as 13 yards as you're going to see there. And the Cocoa Tigers have a first down with the ball at the 47. Here's Anthony Knockreiner.
First down and 10 for the Cocoa Tigers after the Coney first down run. 10:35 to go here in the second quarter. 7-0 the Tigers leading the Treasure Coast Titans. Pistol formation, Hart play action. Pressure coming, got to try to escape it. Flag coming in, and he's wrapped up by Omari Kinsler. Omari Kinsler, 6'4", 195-pound senior, wraps up the sophomore quarterback.
The Tigers going to get caught with a hold there as well, so they're also going to get pushed back 10 yards. And again, in high school this year, there is a rule change. That holding call is no longer taken from the spot of the foul. It is taken from the line of scrimmage now. So you won't see these ridiculous 2nd and 28s because the holding call was 8 yards in the backfield. So it happens from the line of scrimmage, and it now just becomes a 2nd and 20.
Loss of 11 yards on the sack as Treasure Coast declined the penalty. Be second down and 21 for the Tigers. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Hart, 3-step drop. Fires quickly inside, and that one was intended for C.J. Bragg. In on the coverage was Lance Stone for the Titans.
I don't know if Treasure Coast has made an adjustment. Nothing that I can see. Nothing jumps out at me here other than Sterling playing a little bit better in the middle of that secondary. But the Tigers right now struggling a little bit here with the football in the air.
Yeah, a little uncharacteristic as we've seen in the past couple of weeks. You go back to the game against Venice and you go back to the game against St. Thomas Aquinas. That passing game was crisp. And right now, Brady Hart trying to find that rhythm once again.
We'll get the scoreboard fixed there. It's the second quarter, not the first, second quarter.
Third down and long. Brady Hart on the halfback screen to Lane. Lane finds some blockers. Still on his feet. Has the first down yardage and more as it be brought down at the Titan 42-yard line.
Great vision by Lane there. Didn't get too far out in front of his blockers to allow Treasure Coast to blow up the plane. Great read recognition. You might think, well, it's a screen pass. How hard can it be? Well, you got to make sure you're in behind those blockers. And he picked the right seam to run through, and he picks up a big Cocoa Tiger first down across midfield.
Yeah, Latrice and Lane had a big halfback screen play last week, went almost 50 yards, but a penalty negated that big play as we see first down and 10. Brady Hart quickly throws out to Javen Boggs, and that one is sniffed out quickly. That was Anthony Saget, the junior cornerback, who made a heck of a play.
I tell you what, if you've reached week 6 and you don't know that play is coming from the Cocoa Tigers and you're playing them, then you haven't watched an ounce of game film. That's their bread and butter right there, that screen to Boggs. And that time, Treasure Coast not only sniffs it out, but they shut it down for a loss of 2.
Be second down and 12 now for the Cocoa Tigers.
Yeah, that's
Jamal Smith check into the slot.
Yeah, Brent Boziak. Yeah, that was a huge change because it used to drive me nuts they would do that from the spot of the foul.
Second down and 12. Hart, quick throw. Lasers inside, and that'll be incomplete. Again, trying to find C.J. Bragg on that inside route. That was stopped by Deseric Wright, the junior defensive back.
Low throw from Hart there, but there was coverage over the top, and right now, Brady trying to refine that rhythm he had on that first drive. It'll bring up 3rd and 12 knock, and you're going to have Bragg in the slot to the near side, and keep your eye on him.
Third down, 12. The Tigers need to get to about the 32 for a first down. Brady Hart throws inside. Catch is made by Javen Boggs. That should be enough for a Tiger first down.
That's a dart from Brady Hart to Javen Boggs, his favorite receiver. Boggs, one of the leading receivers in the state, came in just a tad shy of 600 on the year. I'm sure he's over it by now. It'll be 3rd, and I swear that can't be more. That cannot be more than 2 inches to go.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play by Boggs, and again, that's what we're seeing from the Tigers right now, Alan. We're trying to see them work the insides of this defense. We've seen the inside cut the inside cut move from these wide receivers so far, and they've been able to connect on it a couple times. They've been looking for Bragg on it the last few times, but nice connection there from Hart to Boggs on that one.
Thank you, WNJ Construction.
Now I do have to say that I do believe, somebody said to tell Corky Rogers, I do believe the former legendary head football coach from Bowles has passed away. I think Corky Rogers has passed away. So
first down for the Tigers.
So the Cocoa Tigers.
It's got to be by the nose of the football, though, because Boggs caught that right at the 32. They needed the 32 to pick up the first.
Yeah, they did. That was, look, I mean, if you're that close, you're going to pick it up by the nose of the football.
8:05 to go here in the second quarter. The Tigers leading 7-0 here in the second quarter over the Treasure Coast Titans. The Tigers driving. As you see, first down and 10. Shotgun snap, pressure coming.
Wide
He's
open.
Thrown, and it's Boggs who makes the catch at about the 14-yard line.
Inside the Cocoa Tiger Booster Club red zone. Once again, it's his favorite target. And you would just think that there would be two guys on Javen Boggs the entire night, Knock. I mean, and make Hart have to throw the football somewhere else.
Well, so far tonight, we've seen that the Treasure Coast Titan defensive line has been able to get close to Hart. They didn't get there, but they did take a shot at him, so it'll be interesting to see if they try and bring some pressure because that middle of the field was open. First down and 10. Lane gets the handoff from the 14.
Oh, wow.
Latison Lane into the end zone for a Tiger touchdown.
Touchdown, Latison Lane, a beautiful run by the sophomore. He had one last week, and he's got one this week. And the Cocoa Tigers have taken a 13-0 lead with 7:20 to play in the half. That whole Knock, you, me, and two Mack trucks and Cocoa could have drove through that.
No, absolutely. Lane with some great vision, and that Cocoa offensive line did a fantastic job opening up the lane for Lane to score. Snap is good, hold is good. Gunnar Trout's attempt is through the pipes. And Gunnar Trout tacks on the extra point. 14-0. The Cocoa Tigers lead the Treasure Coast Titans.
That's just a great way to rebound off a drive that wasn't that impressive in their previous go-round knock. They complete a couple of passes there. Big one to Boggs across the middle down to the 14. And Latison Lane does the rest.
That was a 12-play drive that essentially accumulated about 6 minutes of time of possession.
Thank you to Big Toe for sponsoring your Tigers with the Tiger Prize sponsorship. You can call Big Toe.
Got 8 first downs for the Cocoa Tigers here in this first half.
I want to give a big shout out to the Cocoa Tiger Booster Club, who does such a terrific job. The Tiger Booster Club, of course, if you want to become a member, show up at the next meeting, give them $50. You're a Tiger. It's that simple. And check them out on Facebook at the Cocoa Tigers Booster Club. Here for the kickoff, my good buddy, Anthony Knockreiner.
Gunnar Trout on his approach again. 6 touchbacks on the season. We'll see if he can make it 7 as he sends this one into the end zone.
Oh,
that was close, though. That was close,
my. That ball was 1.5 yards from laying at the 1, and there wasn't a Titan within 20 yards of it. 7:20 here to play in the second quarter, and it's 14-0. Cocoa on top.
Treasure Coast this season has beaten some pretty good teams, though. They've beaten Osceola, Jesuit, and Seminole. Did lose to St. Thomas Aquinas 42-6. Did beat Martin County 2 weeks ago 35-12.
Well, listen, I think Treasure Coast is a good football team, and I'll give you my thoughts a little more in the fourth quarter. Osceola is not that good. I don't care who they played. They're 0-5, and they haven't looked good in any of those defeats.
Atwell throws to Roberts on the near sideline. He'll be knocked out of bounds. He'll gain a couple of yards.
And I know Osceola's played that really tough schedule And you know what? Treasure Coast did it last year, Knock. They started 0-3 and managed to win a game. But for me, the measuring stick coming into this one tonight was how did both of these two teams do against St. Thomas Aquinas? Well, Aquinas scored on every possession in the first half against Treasure Coast last week, beat them 42-6. Cocoa should have come back from South Florida 3-0. We all know the story there. They didn't, but anyway, they played with one of the top 10 teams in the country.
Second down and 8 for the Titans. Atwell in the shotgun. Two receivers at the top of your screen, Roberts and Gabriel Avin.
Here it
and
is.
in motion is Holmes. Atwell will keep it himself this time, and he'll get across the 25 to about the 26 as he's brought down by a host of Tigers.
Good play there on the fake around to the end, and they'll throw out of any formation in this wing tee. I was talking to Matt Diesel today, which is what makes them unique because you don't see that a lot out of the wing tee. A lot of offenses don't do that, but they do. So Cocoa, but I don't think we've seen have we seen a pass from them tonight?
From the Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a couple passes.
I have. Okay, I'm just thinking in my head here.
I can hear the crowd chanting defense.
We've seen a couple.
Well, they got sacked on one.
Yeah.
And then the one was incomplete. Yeah, okay.
Atwell in the shotgun, third down and about 5. Ball needs to get to the 31-yard line of the Titans for a first down. Scott will get the handoff, and he'll be stuffed. He was stuffed there by Samadre Hawkins. Or no, check that. I'm sorry. That was Cedric Walker who's made the stop.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's just a man-on-man, punch-you-in-the-mouth phone booth play up front. He wanted it more than the Treasure Coast Titan did, and he went and got it. What a play. And, I mean, Treasure Coast, talking to Matt Diesel today, he told me they're one of these football teams, Knock, that they want you in a phone booth. They want to punch you in the mouth. Well, I think the Cocoa Tigers are the wrong football team to open that phone booth door up to.
Yeah, so far tonight, the Treasure Coast Titans have not gained a first down yet. Here this evening, all 4 of their drives have been 3 and outs. De Leon a punt once again,
Flag.
and this one almost blocked. It is high. We'll check the flag. It takes a Titan bounce across the Tiger 45 to about the 43. We'll wait for the flag to find out where the Tigers will start.
Coming up at halftime, absolutely nothing. It's going to be a false start, and it's going to be probably declined, I believe. I'm going to unplug and let you listen to the band if they come on, and then we'll mute it because it's dangerous to leave an open mic. One of the biggest no-nos you can do in broadcasting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What a break here. All right. I want to take a minute to thank those that make these Cocoa Tigers broadcasts so special and the opportunity to do them every week. The first person I want to thank is Mr. Jim Williams. BSN and the Cocoa Tigers would like to thank Mr. Jim Williams for his generous donation to ensure that nearly all of these football games are broadcast right here on the #1 sports network in Brevard County, BSN. Currently serving our country as a private citizen, Jim is stationed in Camp Casey, South Korea. And he's watching tonight's game, which is 13 hours ahead, so it's about 9 o'clock in the morning over there. There's no bigger Tigers fan than Jim Williams. And, Jim, we thank you for all that you do. We would also like to thank, again, the Cocoa Tiger Booster Club. They're always looking for new members. Check them out on Facebook to see when the next meeting is. You can also become a member by visiting the stand set up just inside the front gate by the fence near the Cocoa sideline, as the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 on their own 49-yard line with 4:36 to play in the first half. And here to call the next Tiger touchdown drive is Anthony Knockreiner.
Brady Hart in the shotgun, first down and 10. Tight formation. It'll be Smith in motion. Hart rolls to his right. Quick throw. That one's intended for Boggs, and there were 3 Titan defenders around the 4-star receiver.
Yeah, he threw that one into triple coverage. Not Brady Hart's best decision there. We'll call that sophomoric because, well, he is a sophomore. And so it'll be 2nd and 10.
One point I do want to make, too, though, and something that I've really enjoyed seeing so far is the depth now that we're seeing in that Cocoa defensive line. You're talking about Cedric Walker. You can also add Zadrian Smith. Those 2 guys kind of rotating in with Ward and Robertson, really allowing Ward and Robertson to have some fresh legs.
Tigers have come in tonight, scored 117 points. They've surrendered 85.
Second down and 10.
Oh, wide open.
Snap, and that catch is made. That is made by DJ Bryant at the Titan 42-yard line.
As good as Hart's played at times tonight, he's also been off. That ball was caught by the receiver, but behind him. Had he hit him in stride, knock, I believe he might still be running.
DJ Bryant with his fourth catch tonight. So DJ Bryant kind of getting in that mix is kind of replacing Nick Teeter right now as Teeter's out for the Koku Tigers. Third down and about 1. Needs to get to the 41 for a first down. Lane to the right of Hart. Lane gets the handoff, jump cuts, across the 40 to about the 38-yard line. And that is where, that was Malachi Coney.
3:45 to play, and the Tigers moving the football right now. I was trying to think of a comparison. I overuse a hot knife through butter, so I was trying to think of something else, and nothing came to mind. You don't have anything on that sheet over there, do you?
I'll get a couple. First down and 10. Chest high snap. Hart looking out to C.J. Bragg into the flats. He's got blockers. Bragg tries to get to the sideline, but it is Shamir Sterling who makes the stop. It'll be a gain of a couple for the Tigers.
I tell you what, the Tigers have played 2 4-stars and a 5-star DB this year, and Shamir Sterling has been the best of the highly recruited DBs the Tigers have gone up against. I really like the way this young man goes sideline to sideline, and I like his aggressive nature. When you're coming from the safety position, especially at the high school level, you got to be able to lower the boom, and Shamir Sterling has shown the ability to do that tonight.
4 receivers on the bottom of your screen. Malachi Coney in motion. Pass
there it is
thrown
again.
And is incomplete. We got a flag coming in.
And I got news for you. That Sterling that time is lucky he's not in college because he wouldn't be playing the rest of the football game. That is a hit to the head in high school, but that would be targeting at the college level. That's going to be 15 yards and a Koku Tiger first down. It's a good hit. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm old school. I like the hit, but you can't do it anymore.
Personal foul against the Tigers.
So the penalty will take the Tigers all the way to the 22-yard line.
Look at Angel Edgecombe making me blush. Thank you, Miss Angel. All right. What'd you think of the hit? Yeah, I thought it was a good hit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, again, like you said, you go 10 years ago, that's a perfectly legal hit.
Yep.
Not in today's game, unfortunately.
Nope.
First down and 10. Bragg the man in motion. Coney gets the handoff.
Nice
It'll
play.
be Omari Kinsler who makes the stop. Gets a loss of a yard on the run.
6'4", 225 pounds, senior, just got in there from the backside and quite honestly, just chased him down and tackled him down for a loss of 3. And that'll bring up second down and 13 for the Tigers. And knock, this is 4-down territory regardless, especially with just 2:20 to play in the opening half.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll see what Coach Schneider wants to do here with the second down to make that more manageable. But again, Gunnar Trout, longest this season, 38 yards.
Yeah.
He's within his range.
Titusville up 35-0. Yep, that's what the scoreboard said.
Brady Hart all alone. Pressure coming from Grant. Escapes. Throws it to the sideline, intended for Bragg, and it'll fall incomplete as Brady Hart evades the pressure of Jahari Grant.
He actually had Xavier Chappell running down the slot there. Number 14, I believe that is. I think that's Chappell. Had him running down the slot wide open. Hart just did not see him. And it's 3rd and 13.
Tigers have had some trouble with Jahari Grant, though, this evening. Jahari Grant's been able to move some things up in the middle.
My man Jay Pence has 10 more years, and quarterbacks and wide receivers will be wearing flags. Well, they do now in the Pro Bowl.
3rd down and 13 for the Koku Tigers. Ball needs to get to about the 11 for a first down.
Oh,
Hart
wide open, wide open.
This one is caught, and that is Jamal Smith who makes the catch. Nice job by the young receiver.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play by Jamal Smith there, and he just laid down inside of 2 over the top and got underneath of him, and Hart hits him right there inside the Cocoa Tiger Booster Club red zone, and knock its first and goal from about the 7.
First and goal there. We've got 1:26 to go here before the halftime. 14-0 Tigers leading the Treasure Coast Titans. Hand off to Boggs. Boggs on the end around, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 5. That was Nico Lopez on the stop.
Somebody said that was a Marion that caught that ball, but both of us said Jamal. Coach, yes, Coach said that it was Jamal as well, isn't it?
I mean, 16 is Jamal Smith on the Tigers roster.
Yeah. I think a lot of people may have thought, I think it was. 6-3 O'Galley over Merritt Island at halftime. That score's a lot closer than I thought it would be. Merritt Island can change my mind about a lot of things here tonight in terms of strength of schedule and all that good stuff. They can somehow find a way to beat O'Galley. O'Galley didn't do all that bad here last week. They only left out of here 3 touchdowns. They only lost by 3 touchdowns. A lot of people had Cocoa running the clock on them. 2nd and 7, whistles. And are we going to get a timeout? Yes, we are. Treasure Coast is going to – it's a mix-up with the roster, I'm told. Okay. All right, so with a timeout on the board, 1:07 to go. The Tigers looking for a 3-touchdown halftime lead. Back in a moment here on Brevard Sports Network.
Hello, Space Coast. Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support of BSN and allowing us to cover your student athletes and come into your home each and every night. Give us a follow on Facebook at Brevard Sports Network, and here's to many more years of top-notch sports coverage right here in Brevard County. Thanks again.
I'm Marcus May, and you're watching Brevard Sports Network.
My man. Back ready. Thank you, Marcus May. As the Cocoa Tigers, I believe Marcus is out for a couple of weeks here.
Second down and goal from the 5. Bragg is the man in motion. Hart hands it.
Oh, what a play.
Switch. That was Javen Boggs for the touchdown run.
How about the fake jet sweep and the counter inside with Javen Boggs? Fooled everybody, and it's 20-0 on the Javen Boggs Cocoa Tiger touchdown knock.
The Cocoa Tigers have been impressive just in the way that they've also, again, this is the 4th drive for the Tigers. They've had 1 3 and out, but you go back 10 plays, 12 plays, this last drive, 11 plays. They're making it really tough for Treasure Coast to get any possessions, obviously defensively, but offensively, they're taking down the clock for Treasure Coast.
Yeah, they are. And with 1:01 to play here in the first half, the Cocoa Tigers have a 3-touchdown lead. Knock, the funny thing is that it's not like explosive or fancy like you just said. It's methodical, and it's wearing down Treasure Coast.
It really is because, again, they're mixing things up. They're using the wide receiver screen game as the run game. DJ Bryant's done some nice things. Obviously, some big pass plays. You go back to the one with Boggs on the in route. There's been some nice things to mix things up and really force the Treasure Coast defense to think about a lot of things defensively. So Cocoa giving a varied looks and making it difficult. And Coney and Lane have done a really nice job running the football tonight, too.
As Gunnar Trout sets up to try to kick off here. 101, 21-0.
Speaking to Coach Schneider earlier this week, we talked about what makes Javen Boggs so good. Talks about his route running. He keeps his acceleration through his cuts, and also very strong work ethic, as this will be returnable for Treasure Coast. He'll get up the middle of the field, and that'll be Scott. And Scott will get to about the 29-yard line. And the Titans with their best field position of the night.
Knock, and Treasure Coast is not playing a sloppy game. They're not playing a mistake-prone game, a penalty-filled game, a turnover-filled game. Coco's just beating them, as Brian said, at the point of attack in all three phases. And when I mean three phases, I mean they're kicking extra points. But I love the way Coco's front seven is manhandling both front sevens.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Coco's defense hasn't allowed Treasure Coast to get into any sort of rhythm here, as we'll see more of that wing T. Be Roberts who gets the handoff, trying to get to the edge, and he'll get some yardage. Nice gain here, probably the best positive gain for Treasure Coast this evening as he gets nearly to the sticks.
Yeah, he just scooted up the sidelines to open up the playbook a little bit here at 2nd and 1. 36 seconds to play here in the first half. I don't know if there's enough time for them to get in the end zone, but the Tigers can't make a dumb mistake here and let them get a cheap score.
And it'll be...
My goodness gracious. How about the hit by Parham? Davion Parham.
Scott in on the carry for the Titans, as mentioned. Does gain enough for a first down, though.
Coach is laughing in the PA on the hit. Once again, coming up at halftime, absolutely nothing. 23 seconds to go.
22 seconds to go before halftime. We'll see. I got to imagine Treasure Coast does have... They've shown that they can go deep. I don't know if they will here. Roberts looks like he's going to be the quarterback once again. Looking to try and turn it upfield. He does. Almost loses the football. He'll be brought down and short of the 45 to about the 44-yard line. And that should do it for the first half as the Cocoa Tigers lead 21-0.
Yeah, good first half for the Cocoa Tigers. A methodical first half as they come to the locker room and the fans stand and applaud the Cocoa Tigers, who are well on their way, Knock, to a 4-1 start to the season. We'll be back with the third quarter in about 17 minutes right here on the Brevard Sports Network. All right, welcome back here to Richard Dick Blake Stadium where the Cocoa Tigers, are manhandling the Treasure Coast Titans 21-0 here as we get set to start the third quarter. Teams have not come out of the tunnels yet, or Cocoa hasn't. Treasure Coast don't have a tunnel. Knox scoreboard update here brought to you by, Lickety-Split Signs, a Lickety-Split Sign scoreboard update.
All right, so let's start with a couple of games that are right here on Brevard Sports Network. Heritage is up big, 26-0 over Vieira. Melbourne with a 14-0 lead over Harmony. Could they go back-to-back with wins?
Yeah.
Satellite 15, Bayside 14.5. Titusville all over the Space Coast Vipers, 42-0. Palm Bay 28, Astronauts 7 at half. This probably is the most surprising of them all, Alan. Merritt Island 11, O'Galley 6 right now at half, and Holy Trinity with a big lead over Halifax Academy.
And I say, what was the Palm Bay score?
28-7.
28-7, Palm Bay. I say, oh, man, because if O'Galley loses tonight, they obviously fall from not the ranks of the Super 7, but they're a bottom 7 team.
Well, our critics, if you will, of Titusville High School won't critique us anymore.
No, they won't. We'll have them up there so far that it'll be go at Titusville for the top team in Brevard County. I laugh, but what I've learned this year, and specifically here tonight watching Treasure Coast, is this. The Cocoa Tigers are a very, very good football team.
Oh, yes.
They're heads and shoulders the best in Brevard County. I'll say it now. I don't think the Barbecue Bowl is going to be close this year. I just don't. Just based on what I've seen, I know Rockledge has played that tough schedule this year. But look, they can't do anything but schedule it, right?
Right.
But you're talking, this Treasure Coast team beat Seminole. Coco's got Seminole next week. So, what's the measuring stick there, right? For this game, the measuring stick was St. Thomas, who, for all intent and purposes, Cocoa beat, and Treasure Coast couldn't. The only thing that stopped St. Thomas last week against Treasure Coast was 2 lightning delays. That was it. Mm-hmm. And Treasure Coast ended up getting a touchdown on St. Thomas's backups on the last play of the game. So, for me, our issue obviously isn't with the top spot in this county. It's going to be 2 through 7. And I don't know what Rockledge is doing against Trinity Christian right now, and that's another good football team up in Jacksonville. But I don't know that Trinity Christian, I don't know that I know Osceola's not. Trinity Christian, Osceola, and even Seminole, for as high as they are ranked, are as good as the teams they were in recent years.
So I got a scoreboard update. Speaking of those Rockledge Raiders against Trinity Christian, we got 7-7 at the end of the first. They started late due to a weather delay, so they didn't kick off till 7:30. So we got a
7:30 was their scheduled time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's what it said anyway. So,
gotcha. Okay, so yeah, but either way, the 7-7 Rockledge and Trinity Christian.
But I just think there are a lot of programs that are tweener programs right now. What I mean by tweener is they're between being good and very good. Trinity Christian's one of them. Osceola with that schedule they put together this year, I mean, they set themselves up for the season they're having just based on that schedule. But they weren't better than any of those teams that they scheduled. I mean, Rockledge beat them 16-14. That was a good, hard-fought game. And I think right there is about the level Rockledge is on with Osceola. And that's not a bad place to be. I don't know if it's state championship worthy like I thought the Raiders were to start the season. I think offensively they've got some issues they need to correct if they're going to go deep into the month of December. Defensively, I'll take their defense all day long. Titusville, you know what? Our measuring stick for Titusville is going to be what are they going to do when they play Cocoa? Yeah. Are they going to come in here and upset the entire high school football world? Are they going to come in here and win? Are they going to come in here and lose to Cocoa? And if they do lose to Cocoa, do they lose to Cocoa more than O'Galley lost to them? And I think that is a fair measuring stick.
Well, the only thing that concerns me with Titusville is just how much that offensive line has progressed, because what we saw in the kickoff classic against O'Galley was the problem for Titusville. The defensive line for O'Galley just had their way up front. So that'll be, you said, it's going to be a great measuring stick. Here's a question for you as I know we get ready for this second half between the Tigers and the Titans. Does Titusville start scheduling a little harder now?
I think they're going to have to because, look.
And Yulee and Fleming Island are tough teams.
Right. Well, I think they're going to have to. And the reason I think they're going to have to is because they're going to start getting, they're going to start keeping their kids more. And they're going to start, I think they're going to have to schedule tougher. And listen, if you know John Holmes, you know that's exactly what he wants to do anyway. Right. John Holmes not going to shy away from anything. And I asked John Holmes what the goal was for this year at the coaches show. What did he tell us? It was to win or get to a regional championship, and he's dead serious about that.
Absolutely. So we start the second half here with the Cocoa Tigers lead 21-0 over the Treasure Coast Titans. De Leon will kick this one away, and this one is returnable for the Tigers. That's Nathan Chasen. Chasen working his way, bobbing and weaving, and he'll get to about the 25-yard line. 24-yard line is where he'll be stopped, and that's where the Tiger offense will go to work.
The thing that's impressed me tonight about the Cocoa Tigers offense is the way that they've run the football. Not just in general, Knock, but for the tough yards. We've seen the tough yards picked up tonight by this rushing attack. That kind of takes you back a little bit to the old days of Cocoa Tiger football when they could run north and south and east and west on you. And it'll be interesting to see with a 21-0 lead if they can get in the end zone on this first drive. Well, then they'll be just 7 points from a running clock.
We'll see what the Tigers draw up here. Do they try to go over the top? We haven't seen that deep ball too many times, only once tonight. As Hart mishandles the snap, this ball's low and it falls incomplete. Apparently the low was the theme of that play, unfortunately, for the Tigers.
Yeah, I was going to say I guess there's a magnet, a grass magnet in that football because it hit the turf twice on the snap and then it hit the turf on the throw. So throw that one out and move on.
We're going to see Xavier Chappell in the slot at the top of your screen with DJ Bryant. Bragg and Boggs, the receivers at the bottom of your screen. Lane in the sidecar to the right of Hart. Second down and 10 for the Tigers. Showing a bit of a man look here from the Titan defense. 3 pass rushers. Hart steps back, looking to throw inside for C.J. Bragg, who's wide open. Stumbles a bit, but makes the catch and the first down at the Tiger 44-yard line.
Good read recognition by Hart to see Bragg, but again, he's got to lead him a little better. And threw that ball low, absolutely threw it low. And, he could have picked up another 20 yards there, but he's got to get that ball up. Good play by Bragg.
Yeah, Bragg doing a nice job. Again, those in routes for the Tigers' offense has been key. First down and 10 from the 44. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. 4 receivers, I'll check that. Lane will get the handoff, tests the edge side, finds his way to the inside, spins off one tackler, and gets the first down yardage at the Titan 45-yard line.
Knock on being told they're having a little trouble hearing your microphone a little bit. I mean, it's right there on your mouth. Hopefully they can hear it now.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Yeah.
First down and 10. Nice run by Elaine once again. Just not absorbing that hit on that spin move. Doing a nice job to kind of brush that off, stay on his feet, and gain extra yardage as we see first and 10 here. As we'll see 2 wide receiver sets stacked. Boggs and Bragg at the bottom of your screen. We'll see Chappell and Bryant at the top of your screen. Lane, sidecar to the right of Hart. 10:41 to play in the second quarter.
Tank Weaver said he thought this would have been a closer game. I agree with you. That's a nice little wide receiver screen there. That's as good as a solid first down run, 5-yard pickup. But I agree with you. And the thing that immediately told me last week that this wasn't going to be as close of a game as I thought it was that St. Thomas game. When St. Thomas scored on every first half possession, then I just kind of thought, well, and that's going to be a hold. That's going to come back 10 yards. So obviously, Treasure Coast is going to take that 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 20.
Backs him up to the 40 of the Cocoa Tigers' own 45-yard line as we see 10:33 on the second quarter clock. Tigers leading 21-0 over Treasure Coast.
And remember, Tigers play Seminole next week, and Treasure Coast beat them.
Brady Hart looking deep, looking for Boggs, and that one just out in front of the outstretched hands of the 4-star receiver.
Wonder Twin powers activate. Give me 6 more inches on my fingers there, and that's a catch. Nice throw, putting it only where Boggs could go get it. Boggs ran a great route, just didn't work out for the Tigers there.
I was going to say, I thought, the difference in those 2 games between Venice and St. Thomas Aquinas, Hart just had that touch right there. And and like I said, this is not a knock on Hart.
No.
There's been a few throws that have been missed here, missed there. And like I said, I know he'll straighten those out here. Again, 21-0 lead.
You can certainly tell the difference between a Brady Hart that's sharp and a Brady Hart, like right there. He's throwing in double coverage there. Hart's completing passes tonight, but he's not his normal sharp self.
Sterling once again in on the stop for the Titans. And again, as you mentioned earlier, he has been a difference maker for this Titan defense.
Yes, he has. He's an outstanding he's one of the best DBs I've seen Coco go up against this season, and that's saying something. Charles Lester out of Venice, and then, of course, you have the two Penn State 4-star commits at St. Thomas. And, this young man, he's good.
3rd and 20 for the Tigers. They need to get to the Titan 35 for a first down. Hart, 3-step drop, throws it to Bragg, but that's going to be just short of first down yardage.
That's an outstanding throw from Hart. He stepped up in the pocket and perfect technique and hit Bragg right in stride. That's the Brady Hart you see when he's sharp.
It's going to be 4th down and about 2 for the Tigers. We'll see 5 wide receivers for Hart. Under 10 minutes to go. Quickly to the line. Hart checks the offensive play call from Coach Schneider. Then the ball needs to get to the 35 for a first down. Hart all alone. Quick throw. Out
wide
to Bragg
open.
in the flats. It's across the 30 with a move, and he'll be brought down at the 21-yard line. Nice spin move from the senior.
Couple of Titans down there picking up their shoes and socks as Bragg cuts back to the inside there. That's just a heck of a move. A lot of times, especially at this level, you don't see receivers cut in like that, and Bragg just did a heck of a job doing so. Cutting in the middle is not something that's, these kids don't do these days.
The yards after catch from this Tiger wide receiver group really separates themselves from a lot of high school wide receivers.
And that's a good, and I'm going to talk about that.
16-yard gain, by the way.
I'm going to talk about that Heritage and Vieira game coming up in a minute because I'll probably shock some people with this statement. That's a good, Heritage finishes it off. That's a good win, and I'll tell you why.
Hart hands off to Lane. Lane got some blockers in front, testing the edge, gets to it. And
what a tackle.
Down inside the 20, maybe about the 19-yard line.
Lance Stone, the linebacker, sophomore, 5'10", just flew over to make that tackle. That's just a great catch. Top 7 Red Sox up 2-0, Allen. I hope we rest them all now. I hope we rest all the Orioles now. But, look, that Vieira offense is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good. I mean, Chase Cromartie came into this game as a top 20 passer in the state, and they've played some okay defenses. Baker County had a good defense.
Hart throws quickly to Lane into the flats. Lane got the edge to the 5. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 3, and he'll be stopped by Marvin Gaye.
Well, I just like the way Ladison Lane runs the football, whether it's after a catch or whether it's on a handoff. He's shifty. He has a little power in those legs. He's not afraid to he reminds me a little bit, how Barry Sanders used to finish hits? That's what Ladison Lane does not mind doing, finishing hits. And when you can do that as a running back, yeah.
First and goal for the Tigers, and Malachi Coney is into the end zone for a touchdown. That is Coney's first touchdown of the season.
And Malachi Coney again. I believe that's Malachi's second tonight, isn't it?
No, Lane had the first one.
Lane, that's right. Ladison Lane had the first one. Malachi Coney with that one. And how about these Cocoa Tigers with 2 rushing touchdowns tonight?
I was going to say, I mean, that's the fun thing about this offense is we saw so much of that passing offense in those 2 weeks. Now we're seeing that running game, and I've talked about it on the preview shows before. You want to see that ascension as we see the extra point. Hold is good and through the pipes. 28-0 lead for the Tigers, but the Tigers' running game is trending upwards.
Yeah, and it couldn't be trending upwards at a better time because, a big key to successful playoff football is to play good defense. I don't think the Tigers are going to have to go on the road, especially if the FHSAA figures out these rankings, because the Tigers are definitely the best team in 2S. I don't even want to talk about anybody else. I mean, I know Titusville and all. I get all that. But when you're talking about state championship, Coco's the best team in 2S, hands down.
Well, so I want to bring up an interesting point because Baker County did see Bradford early on in the season. And I know Baker County didn't win that game, but Baker County kept it close with Bradford. How much do you play that?
I don't want to talk about a current friend's team, but Baker County's not a very good football team at the moment. They got a good defense.
Bradford
yeah,
didn't
I know.
play well.
I know. So it leads me to believe that Coco is, look, Bradford put up quite a fight against Coco last year. They came back in that second half and made a game of it until Coco pulled away. But, yeah, after seeing Baker County up close and personal last week and seeing the fact that they just didn't have an offense, and that goes through the end zone for a touchback, it just led me to believe that, you know what, yeah, I like Coco's chances even more now.
So far tonight for the Treasure Coast Titans, it has been 3 plays and out on multiple possessions. This is the first possession of the second half for the Titans.
I'm in trouble. I think I'm in trouble.
And it sounds like the Titans, once again, they have yet to cross yet to cross midfield so far tonight.
28-0. Hey, do you have one of those for the media, ma'am? For free, by the way.
It'll be Roberts with the handoff. Roberts cuts it up into the middle of the defense, and he'll be stopped by a gang of Tigers. And, Roberts is still churning those legs. And the crowd still moves. It's a rugby pile across the 35 to about the 37.
Nice little scrum there. I like it.
A little bit of that tush-push action.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you got me. What's tush-push action?
Well, that's just what they're calling that Philadelphia play.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Scared the hell out of me there for a minute. I thought, is this something the FCC's coming at me for now? Or, what's going on here?
7:09 to go here in the second quarter. The Titans with a first down gain of about 17. Roberts looks to take the direct snap. Nope, it'll be Scott. We got a flag here.
Yeah, nobody seemed to really get set on that play. And that includes the Coco Tigers as well.
So 1st and 5 now for the Titans. And again, so far, best drive of the night for the Titans offense.
And they haven't crossed the 50 yet.
Tremaine Wells, the sophomore defensive lineman, checks into the ball game for the Tigers. And we'll see Roberts the handoff once again. Brought down after a couple. Second down and 2 second down and 2 for the Titans offense as they'll get to the 44-yard line.
I'm going to get us 2 of them.
So it'll be Scott to the left of Roberts, Hatton the fullback, Gabriel Avin the receiver at the top of your screen. Roberts with the handoff once again. He goes right up the gut. He'll have enough there for a Titan first down as he gets across the 45 to about the 47.
Well, the biggest reason the Titans needed this drive was to get their defense a break. The Titans all week, listen, this Coco offense has been every drive the Tigers have scored on knock, if I'm not mistaken, have been double-digit play drives, correct?
Yeah. Let's put it this way. 10 play, 12 play, 11 play, and 11 play again. That's a lot of time with that defense.
Yeah, so while we have a minute on the field for the water break here, I want to take a moment to thank Lickety Split Signs, Banners, and website. I also want to thank Timeout Sports Bar Plus. Timeout Plus is a clean, relaxing atmosphere that offers a diversity of food options with some great drink specials. The friendly staff, well, that's another plus. With the addition of a full kitchen, Timeout Plus can now offer some incredible food specials as well. Their event and banquet facility allows them to also offer live entertainment or host your private occasion. Because of your loyalty at Timeout in Cocoa Beach, they were able to open Timeout Plus in Cocoa Village. The Timeout family appreciates your patronage, and they look forward to your ongoing support as they continue to grow. Back to the action with Anthony Knockreiner.
First down and 10, and it'll be Scott who gets the handoff. Scott continues to churn the legs, and he'll get across midfield into Cocoa Tiger territory at the 47.
Yeah, Don, I'm with you. I think number 8 in the country and number 8 in the state and number 50 in the country is a good place to be. And a lot of people said this week, well, those FHSAA rankings, well, they don't really matter. Well, they do really matter, and they matter for this reason, and I'll tell you after this play here.
Roberts in the shotgun for this wing T offense. Roberts going to keep it himself this time with a convoy, and he'll get across the 45 to about the 42-yard line, and that'll be enough for another Titan first down.
It is those rankings that determine the at-large teams when the season is over. The district winners will automatically qualify for the playoffs, and then it's the next 4 best point ranking records. Now, Coco's going to win the district, so I don't think there's any question about that. But then it's after where's Cocoa ranked will determine whether they've got to travel for those regional finals or Final Four knock. And last year they had to go to South Sumter and they had to go to Bradford when both of those teams should have come to Cocoa. And again, not fair in my opinion.
No, and like I said, I think those rankings, they need to really start reflecting because, again, you can't – how do you look at this Cocoa Tiger team with a 1-point loss, which should have been a win to St. Thomas Aquinas? How do you look at them and you put them where they did this past week?
Yeah, I don't get it. And then you claim to use strength of schedule as an opponent's strength of schedule as 2 precursors for your rankings. Quarterback is in trouble.
Atwell in trouble here, escaping a couple of Tigers, but not until he's brought down by the safety, Nathan Chasen.
29th sack of the year for the Cocoa defense as the dark side defense continues to put pressure on opposing passers. And listen, when you got to go to places like South Sumter and Bradford in back-to-back weeks, parents have to take off early. They lose income at work. It costs money to make those trips. And you know what? I mean, that's why it all matters.
So 3rd and 9 for the Titans offense. 3:36 to play here in the third quarter. Roberts takes a direct snap, trying to test the edges, gets around the corner, and it'll be brought down by the defensive back Josh Brown, well short of the first down.
Well,
marker.
Brown threw him about 4 yards closer to the first down there. Might want to just put him on the ground the next time instead of just throwing him down there. Lickety-split 4th down coming up. Will the Tigers get off the field here? Lickety-split, we'll find out.
4th down right now coming up as we got the ball sitting on the 36-yard line. Ball needs to get to the 33-yard line for a first down.
All right.
Titans offense having success with Roberts here in the backfield leading the way. Roberts handoff once again.
He had no shot.
And that'll be a turnover on downs. The dark side defense once again gives the ball back.
Great job that time. He slipped down. The Tigers had a little help from the home turf there, but you'll take it. And it's first down and 10 the other way, knock. And now a Cocoa Tiger touchdown will run the clock.
Well, here's my question for you, Alan. We've been talking about these rankings. This is a big win. This is the number 10 team in the state right now.
Yep.
How much does this factor, you think, into those rankings? I know you're not the FHSAA.
Listen, if playing Venice and Seminole, if playing Jones and Venice and St. Thomas got you 7th, they need to be out here against St. John's Bosco.
That'll definitely move the needle.
Yeah, that'd move the needle. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
First down and 10. Hart looking deep, but this is going to be short.
Nearly
Almost intercepted. And I believe that was Marvin Gay, the defensive back end on the coverage.
Yep. That ball slipped out of Hart's hand, so I'm not gonna pick on him too much for that one. That'll happen with a wet ball, and that one slips. Although if I want to be mean, I could say something like, well, it's first down, it shouldn't happen. You should be going out there with a dry ball, but might have just slipped.
Second down and 10 for the Tigers. Boggs and Bragg again, the receivers at the bottom of your screen. Jay Bryant, the receiver at the top of your screen. Hart looking to throw, getting pressured, escapes, still on his feet, going to run for it now. slides across the 40 to about the 42.
Yep. Coco. All right, Knock. We got our now we got it. Make sure when you come to Coco High School, you pick up one of these Coco High.
Got an update, second quarter, Trinity Christian and Rockledge tied at 7.
Trinity Christian's up?
Tied at 7.
Oh, tied at 7. I was like, oh, what happened? It was 7-7, I thought. I remember when Coco went up there a couple of years ago under John Wilkinson, either his next to last year or his last year here, and Javian Hawkins had a great game, 200 yards rushing in that game, couple of touchdowns. Oh, wow.
Oh, another almost interception there.
That is the 4-star that dropped that one.
Going to see a...
Oh, wow. 15. What'd that say? What quarter? Third quarter, 15-14. Satellite over top of Bayside. That game is exactly what I thought it would be. A grudge match, knock 'em out type slobber knocker. And the Tigers are going to punt. Knock. Treasure Coast has forced a punt.
As I say, we're going to see Gunnar Trout for the second time tonight. Gunnar Trout on the season so far has 2 punts inside the 20, averaging about 32.5 yards per punt.
Nice. Boy, look at this beauty.
It'll be returnable. It'll be Avon on the return for the Titans, and Avon will still get some yardage. Hit hard.
Oh,
still
my.
on his feet. And that was a hard hit by Coney on that one. And it'll be knocked out of the 25.
What was that? Oh, my glasses. Okay.
So after a hard hit there, I believe that was either Chasen or Coney in on the hit.
How did he hold on to that football?
I don't know. That was a hard hit. So we'll see Amar Atwell back in at quarterback. Roberts did some nice things with the ball. 1:28 to go here in the third quarter. Roberts will take the direct snap, and he'll be dropped immediately. Devarius Robertson, the nose tackle for the Tigers, makes the stop. Clock continues to run here as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Tigers firmly in command of this one, 28-0 here. So you get more scores right now. Seminole 7, Apopka 3. That's an interesting matchup.
Yes, it is.
So we'll see the spread come out for the Titans a little bit. 2 receivers here at the bottom of your screen. Roberts and Atwell in the backfield. Atwell quickly throws, and that'll be knocked out of bounds. That was check that. Nicholas Hatton. Nicholas Hatton in on the reception. Take it to about the 26, so a short gain brings up 3rd down and 9.
This is a great program, but they didn't put their numbers in it.
Gabriel Avon and George Roberts, the receivers at the bottom of your screen. Scott, the back in the backfield with Atwell. 3rd down and 9. Ball needs to get to about the 40 or 35 for a first down, and that one's picked off by Jay-Sean Smith. Tigers still on his feet to the sideline and knocked out of bounds.
Well, I tell you what, Treasure Coast quarterback just should have eaten that one, and he does not, and that was nearly a pick 6, and the Coco Tigers now with that's just making sure you see ball, you catch ball, and you make sure you have interception. And with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter, it's 28-0. And look, don't forget too that this is a Treasure Coast team that earlier this year put 68 points on Bailing Jesuit. Now, 2 years ago, Bailing Jesuit was your 6A state champ. And they were pretty good last year, too. And this football team put 60 points on them this year.
Wow. First down and 10 for the Coco Tigers, deep inside Titan territory. Lane will be brought down as he loses his helmet.
Everything.
That was Coney.
Loses helmet, loses. That's Malachi Coney. Malachi Coney has got to do something about that helmet. That's the 3rd time tonight he's lost it.
Got to get that chin strap a little tighter.
Yeah, or get a different helmet.
12 seconds here before the end of the third quarter, and I think that's going to be the final play of the third. We'll see if Coach Schneider wants to run one before the end. And they're not. That's going to do it for us here at the end of the third quarter. The Cocoa Tigers with a commanding lead, 28-0 over the Treasure Coast Titans.
All right, welcome back here to Brevard Sports Network. Look at these split signs and banners. Timeout. Sports Bar Plus, Mr. Jim Williams, the Cocoa Tiger Booster Club. Of course, Natwick Insurance as well, and American Air and Plumbing. All major sponsors here on Brevard Sports Network for the Cocoa Tigers, and we thank them all for their support of youth and prep sports. Coming up tomorrow on Brevard Sports Network, it is back to youth football as we'll have the Bayside Bears as they'll take on the Melbourne Chargers Elite and the Satellite Scorpions who are taking on the West Volusia Wolves. 12 minutes on the clock, quarter number 4. Tigers looking to run the clock here, and here to tell you how they're going to do it is my good friend Anthony Knockreiner.
Second down and about 8 for the Tiger offense after the Coney run. Bryant and Smith, the receivers, at the bottom of your screen. Boggs and Bragg at the top of your screen. Hart all alone in the backfield. Chest high snap, quickly throws out to Smith. Smith makes the catch, and he's still on his feet, eludes one defender. He gets back to about the 15-yard line, called 15 and a half.
Both of these teams tonight, the ball carriers, whether it's been a receiver or whether it's been a running back, I love the fact that neither of them, you know, we've seen it with Treasure Coast a couple of times, shown a lot of fight. They moved an entire pile 6 yards 2 drives ago, and Cocoa there showing just great effort to not lose yards, and it's 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 here for the Tigers. 28-0, the Tigers lead over the Titans. Ball needs to get to about the 6 or 7 yard line for a first down. Hart throws quickly to Boggs. Boggs inside the 5 to about the 2.
And that was behind him again, and Boggs just went back with both hands. That's just a great catch by Javen Boggs. Nice, hard, firm throw. Like I said, a little behind, but nonetheless, the Tigers once again with a 1st and goal from the 4. Inside the American Air and Plumbing red zone here. Knock, we'll zoom in here and see if we can't get a touchdown run or something here. We got both Coney and Lane in the backfield.
Lane will go in motion. Hart looks quickly to throw, looking inside, and that
Nice.
one is caught by Javen Boggs. And another touchdown for the 4-star receiver.
And for Javen Boggs, Knock, that'll be touchdown number 10 this year, I do believe. And Brady Hart, touchdown number 15 for the super sophomore. And the extra point will run the clock with 10:33. And I got to be honest with you, Knock, I said that Cocoa would win this football game by 2 touchdowns. I did not see a running clock.
I did not see running clock either. Again, with this offense for the Titans, I thought that they might be able to milk some clock here as we see the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So, Gunnar Trout 5 for 5 tonight. But, yeah, no, I thought the Titans offense would be able to move the football with their run game and milk the clock, so I didn't know if we would have that kind of time. But it speaks volumes to this Tiger defense on what they've been able to accomplish here tonight because, again, facing a wing T team, we don't see as many, and you haven't seen a wing T team this season on their schedule. It's tough to prepare for, but the Cocoa Tigers have done an outstanding job.
Yeah, no, and the Tigers Yeah, I mean, and if you're Treasure Coast and, just looking at this from a Treasure Coast standpoint, in case anyone is watching from Treasure Coast still at this point, Coach Ivory's got, and his team's got a little soul searching to do because, you started the year off, you get a win over Seminole, you hang 60-plus on Bale and Jesuit, and then in the last 2 weeks, you have been outscored 77-6. And I think you have to ask yourself, where are we in the upper echelon in terms of these top-ranked teams in the state of Florida? This is certainly a good football team, Treasure Coast, but it's not a top 10 team, Doc.
No, I was going to say, Treasure Coast has done some nice things, but I think it just shows how much Cocoa is separating themselves from the pack, as Gunnar Trout's kick will be returnable. Titan will be stopped at about the 20.
Ball's out.
Ball is out, and the Tigers recovered it.
No, Cocoa did.
That's what I said, Tigers.
Huh?
I thought I said Tigers.
Oh, I thought you said Titans recovered it.
My bad.
My fault.
Titans, Tigers.
Yeah, right.
Too many T's.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, the clock does run at 35-0 in the. No, I think they wait till halftime. After halftime to run the clock. That's a good question, but it runs only in the second half. I believe that's the rule. Now I've been a part of Cocoa broadcast with other teams in Brevard County where they've reduced the time of the quarter to 5 minutes.
Yeah. Those aren't fun nights for the opposing.
No, they certainly aren't.
So the Cocoa Tigers, after another takeaway on special teams, a nice one, is Hart will give the ball to Lane. Lane testing the edges here. Stopped by Lance Stone as he tries to rip it out. Cannot, but again, another great run.
Yeah.
Lane is really starting to come on here in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and obviously a young running back, and as the season progresses, we see these sophomores at other positions just get better and better and better. Especially every day, Knock. How can you not when you're going up against these guys in practice every day?
Oh, yeah.
You're going up against the dark side defense.
7:40 to go as we do have a running clock here in the fourth quarter. Tigers lead 35-0 and are driving. Brady Hart with Lane to his left. Smith, the receiver. DJ Bryan, the receiver, at the bottom of your screen. Smith makes the catch in the flats. Got his helmet off, and that's going to stop the play. And I think that might be a loss of a. No, it's going to be a gain. I'm trying to watch this far side official.
He's no hurry to mark the football.
Well, he was stepping forward, then he stepped back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's going to be 2nd and 3.
There you go. 35-0. Clock running at 6:57 to play in the game, and we'll be out of here in 15 minutes. And you know where we're headed? Up to walk-ons in Viera. Come on down and go through the post-game show with us. You join us tonight, or are you going?
Yeah, no,
okay. All right.
I make the walk-ons post-game show a staple every Friday.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. And so should you watching.
Lane gets the handoff, goes off tackle, and he'll be brought down by Jahari Grant. That'll be brought down at about the 11-yard line.
I just love the young man's vision, Knock. He's going to be a special running back here. He's got a lot to live up to in terms of running backs from Cocoa High School through the years, but certainly getting a nice head start as a sophomore with this program. And, I like the way he runs the ball. Once again, we want to thank Mr. Jim Williams here. Tell you about Jim here in just a second. I'm probably embarrassing him, but you can't go a broadcast without thanking Jim a couple of times.
Coney and Lane in the backfield with Hart. Hart looks to quickly throw on the fade route.
Open.
And DJ Bryant makes the – no.
Oh, and
I thought he had it.
I did too.
He had it all the way until he came down.
Yeah, that's an NFL rule.
And I tell you.
That's a heck of a try by Bryant. Good throw by Hart there, too,
Yeah, no,
because that's
great throw,
only
great
where he
throw.
could go get it.
But I do want to say DJ Bryant's been more part of the offense tonight. He's got 5 or 6 receptions.
Yeah.
He's done some nice things, picked up some first downs. I really, again, that's the great thing. I know Teeter's out right now, and Teeter is such a playmaker too. But again, when you've got 4 receivers, and Smith's done some nice things tonight as well, so you could say 5. But I've been really looking forward to seeing when DJ Bryant's going to get that game where he gets a little bit more involved, and tonight's been that night.
That's the depth of this Cocoa Tiger football team. DJ Bryant, next man up mentality.
C.J. Bragg, the man in motion. Hart will hand off to Coney. Coney goes up the gut, and he'll be brought down by Richard Kramer along with a couple other Titan defenders as we're under 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter.
You know, we're talking about that running game. You want this?
I'll keep it.
Yep. You know, we were talking about that running game getting stronger as the season progresses, and that's absolutely true. Last year we saw that happen as well. Who will ever forget what Anthony Bridgewater did against Bradford last year in that third and fourth quarter? Bridgewater literally put that Tiger offense on his back and carried them to victory in that football game, sealing the deal. Bridgewater, his best game as a Tiger, came at the most opportune time.
DJ Bryant makes the catch, but Nico Lopez, the outside linebacker, sniffed that out from the get-go. Brings up fourth down for the Tigers, and will we see Gunnar Trout?
Why not? All right, American Air and Plumbing, Brevard's go-to pros for Florida Tough AC and plumbing services, and proud sponsor of the Brevard Sports Network, Florida Tough Player of the Month, which you'll hear who that is coming up next Thursday on the Uberzade High School Football Preview Show. Trust American Air and Plumbing for fast AC repairs or rugged AC systems like their Florida edition, built to withstand our brutal Florida climate, or the revolutionary Daikin AC with rebates up to $1,800 in warranties up to 12 years. AmericanAirandPlumbing.com, serving Brevard since 1942. Good movie, too, 1942. Or was that 1941? Anyway.
Coach Schneider just keeping his eye on that back judge there the entire time, waiting for that signal to get.
Yeah, I'd let Gunnar Trout, get some game action. You can simulate this at practice, but,
Well, you look at Gunnar Trout this season, 4 of 6 on field goals this year. 38 was his longest. Coming into tonight, he was 13 of 15. You can make that 18 of 20 tonight after tonight's game on extra points. So,
want to thank all of you once again for tuning in here tonight on BSN. Once again, coming up, it'll be the Walk-Ons post-game show coming to you live from Walk-Ons in beautiful downtown Vieira. Go on over and have an adult Pepsi or get yourself a burger and listen to us break down and recap the night in high school football in Brevard County. Knock.
So we've got a 29-yard field goal attempt for Gunnar Trout. Snap is good, and the kick is on the way, and it's between the pipes. It is good. Tigers now lead 38-0 over Treasure Coast.
That's a beaut, Clark. That's a good one as the exits or the stands begin to empty a little bit as people want to beat the park. It's also drizzling a little bit outside, too. Nobody wants to stay here and get wet any longer than they have to here tonight. Once again, we want to thank the Cocoa Tiger Booster Club and Jim Williams in Camp Casey, South Korea. Jim, thank you for making sure that this broadcast this year for the Cocoa Tigers could happen, because I believe that by the time we reach Christmas, you're all going to be ordering your second state championship rings again. The only thing that I could see stopping the Cocoa Tigers from winning a state championship knock would be the Cocoa Tigers.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Again, they're continuing to show us, and they're doing it in so many different ways. Against Venice, against St. Thomas Aquinas, it was through the arm of Brady Hart. Tonight, I give credit to that running game, and again, credit to that offensive line on what they've been able to do here tonight as well. And we'll try and get you a score update. Last I saw, midway through the third quarter, Merritt Island still up in O'Galley, 11-6.
Yeah, that's going to make for some interesting conversation this week, and I know it will with us.
Right now, some score updates. Satellite 21, Bayside 14. Merritt Island, that one still looks like 11-6 right now. And then Heritage up 38-0 over Vieira in the third.
Running clock there, too.
Yep.
Well, I guess Vieira isn't as good as maybe I thought they were. I'm going to have to talk to Caleb and Billy and Blue tonight at the postgame show to find out what happened to Vieira. I thought they'd at least be able to put the football in the end zone once.
We got
jet sweep.
Jet sweep for Jaden Holmes as Holmes gets to the edge and it'll be brought down after gaining first down yardage. Real quick, looks like we still have in the Check that. In the fourth quarter, Merritt Island 11, McGalley 6 in the fourth.
All right, let me get Bobby Allen's final take on this tonight. Let's bring Bobby Allen in, our newest. I keep saying Bobby. I don't know why. Brian Allen. Brian, I'm sorry, buddy.
Hey, just call me B.A.
Let's just say, let's bring B.A. in here. B.A., you saw this Cocoa Tiger. You saw him last year. You saw him this year. What are your thoughts on this football team?
First and foremost, they're the best team that I've seen in this 2023 campaign. I think the most complete team, let me say that.
Yeah.
They dominated on all three sides. I mentioned that when I saw them in the first, commenting on the first half of play. Nothing really changed.
Yep.
Treasure Coast just didn't have an answer for the athleticism and the execution that came with this Tigers offense. And listen, defensively, they pitched a shutout.
Yeah, they sure did. And listen, this is a top 15 football team they manhandled tonight. And Brian, I look forward to working with you in the future. So we got a flag down here. I look forward to working with you in the future. You're a basketball guy. You really love basketball, don't you?
I do. It's just kind of, it was born and raised in me. My dad was an old Big 8 basketball official for many years.
Wow.
And so I kind of grew up with it. But,
Well, Brian.
Like a Friday night, though, Alan.
Yeah.
Like a Friday night.
We'll see you next Friday night for sure, Brian. And so, Knock, let's get your final thoughts on this one.
The Cocoa Tigers are good at football. They continue to win. The rankings are what the rankings are. But I don't know how the FHSAA can't. I don't know what they do this week in terms of how do you not move Cocoa up higher and higher than where they put him this past week. Listen, the Treasure Coast Titans are not a bad football team. This just speaks to the volumes of what the Tigers have been able to accomplish.
Yeah, this is more about Cocoa than it is Treasure Coast tonight, that's for sure. Breaking news, everybody. The Cocoa Tigers are really good. All right, we'll wrap it up here. I want to thank all of our sponsors, from Jim Williams to American Air and Plumbing to Lickety Split to Timeout Plus Sports Bar. I want to thank Athletic Director Mark Karstens, head coach, as well, Ryan Schneider. So for all of you, for Brian Allen, for Anthony Knockreiner, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. Once again, your final score tonight, the Cocoa Tigers moved to 4-1 with a 38-0 win over the 15th-ranked Treasure Coast Titans. We'll see you at Walk-Ons.